guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. Today I thought it would be fun to do a little my makeup now versus then kind of situation. This will definitely be really interesting because the makeup that I used to do a couple of years ago was absolutely nowhere near what I do now. It was the simplest thing in the world. I'm not even joking. I will include some pictures of what my makeup used to look like versus how it does now. And hopefully you guys like this type of video. I've been super interested in doing this all day long, and I've been kind of thinking about it, but I didn't know how it would kind of come off. Also, I really hope that the lighting is so much better. I have a new ring light and it already looks like it's making things 10 times better in here. It's a lot brighter, it's not as dull, and it's just, I'm so excited for this, guys. I honestly am in such a good mood right now, and I really hope that you guys love this. I am trying out just a couple of new products today with this as well. And then I'm using some oldies but goodies and some products that I will literally never touch again after this video. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. I really hope that you love this, and I can't wait to see how this turns out. So just like I usually do, I am going to go ahead and moisturize my face. It is nice and clean and ready for this video. So I am just going in with my Garnier Moisture Rescue for dry skin. And I'm just going to take the same brush that I usually do, put this all over. Now, like I've said before in previous videos, I didn't used to do moisturizer or anything. But I am going to now because it honestly makes a whirlwind of a difference, but also because I have such dry skin, I have to moisturize my face or else it gets so dry and cracky, and I don't want that. So I'm just gonna moisturize. Now, some of the products that I'm gonna be using this, I literally have not touched since I used to use them. And there's reasons for that, because I either hate them, I don't like the way that they perform, or I've just found better products to replace them. So now my face is all good and moisturized. We are gonna go ahead and get started. Now I am going to get started with my brows, and that's where the interesting part starts, because I used to not do my brows. I was actually the girl who, and I hate saying this now because karma really does come around, but I used to be the girl who made fun of people for filling in their eyebrows, and now I have to. So yeah, so this side of my face is going to be the way that I used to do it, and then this side of my face is going to be how I do it now. So over here I am going to go ahead and do my brow because I didn't do it on this side. So I'm just going to go in and use the same brow products that I use now, which is going to be All Benefit. So I'm using the Precisely My Brow, Ka-Brow, and the Gimme Brow Plus. These are in shades 4 and 5. So let's go ahead and do those really quickly. And because I am only doing one brow, it'll be a lot faster than it normally is. Next, I am gonna go in with Ka-Brow. This is gonna be in shade number 5. And I'm just pretty much gonna use this to really fill in and define mainly the tail end of my brow. Let's go ahead and get started with that. So the interesting part of how I do my brows is because I do use a pomade as well, I don't ever use the pomade at the front end of my brows. I go in with a brow pencil for that. I mainly use the pomade from about here back, and I go and blend it out really nicely, and then I'll go in with a brow pencil to kind of fill in the hair-like strokes. Now I'm just going to go in with the Precisely My Brow in shade number 4. And I'm just going to do a couple of tiny little hair-like strokes right at the front of my brow. Also, if you're gonna follow any part of the tutorial of this video, I would highly recommend only following what I did on this side. I don't at all recommend following what I did, what I used to do. Yeah. So now I'm gonna go in with Gimme Brow Plus in shade number 5, and I'm just going to kind of set the brows in place. This also does help because it's tinted. You can use this by itself. I usually do if I'm not really going full glam. So I'm just gonna go in and fill and kind of set the brows a little bit. It's pretty much just going to be my brow on this side. Like I said, I did not at all do brows on my before side, so I'm not going to be doing that. But I am just going to go ahead and quickly carve out my brow on this side because that is something that I do now. So as you can see, I have this brow carved out, and I also have my base done and ready for when I go in and actually do my eyeshadow on that side. Now for this side, because I didn't do brows, I never carved out brows, but I did put a little bit of concealer on my eye. I don't have the exact concealer that I used to use because at this point I don't remember what I used. So I'm just gonna take the same one that I used on this side and go ahead and put it over here. Now for this, I am using the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. And I'm just gonna kind of place a little bit over it. I wasn't super worried about it being covered and everything. So I also would only put concealer down on the lower half of my eye, and you'll see why here in a little bit. So I'm only gonna put it down here. And so now that we have that done, the palette, or one of the palettes that I used to go into all the time, was the Naked 2 palette by Urban Decay. This is just the basics. So it's literally only this, only these shades, and it's kind of very obvious to see which shades that I went into the most. So I'm just gonna go in with these and do it. Only used to use one single brush to do my entire eyeshadow look, and it was always a big fluffy brush. So I think this one is pretty much like the closest I have to it. And this is just one that I got off of Amazon, and it looks like this. Now, I always went into this shade. This is Cover. And I would always put it all over the lid. So I'm just going to coat the brush pretty heavily with it, and we're literally just gonna do everything. So I also wasn't worried about it being super blended or anything like that. When I used to do my makeup, it was literally just to have something there. And I'm not gonna use the techniques that I do now either while I'm doing this. I'm just kind of gonna do it literally how I used to. So when one half of my face looks rough, you guys know why. I'm gonna go into shade Undone right here. Same brush again, put it on there pretty nicely, and we're gonna go all over the outer corner with it. The next one that I'm gonna go into is going to be Stark, which is right here. And I would just take this and put this all over the lid. I forget how much kickback is in this. If you look, it's like all over. And I'm not going in rough or anything, but it's just, there's so much kickback in this palette. So for the side that I do now, I am going into a new palette. And for this, I am excited to be using the Glamlite Burger palette. I have not used this before, so this is also going to be a first impression on this side. But this is the outer box, and then when you open it, it's super cute. It's actually wrapped up like a burger would be. And then you come in, and just take it out. And it's super cute. This is all soft and everything, so like it looks like a giant burger. And then this is the back of it, which just tells you like the ingredients, their Instagram, their website, stuff like that. And then you open it, and this is, I think I know what I want to go in with, and instead of holding up the palette and showing you guys exactly which ones I'm going into, I'm just going to do like I did with the Norvina palette video, and I'm going to put a picture of it right up here and show you exactly what shade I'm going into. Now, because of this type of look that I want to do, I am going to go in with my washi tape, and I'm just going to place it on the edge because I do want to have a nice sharp outer corner with it. So I'm just going to go in, take a little piece, rip it off, you guys know the deal, and we're going to put it right on the outer corner. As I'm going to be doing a cut crease, first I want to go in with a smaller brush, so I'm going to be using the Morphe M506. Just looks like this. And I want to go in with my darker color first, so I'm going to go in with Ketchup. I'm going to get it on the tip of the brush. There's just a little bit of kickback in the pan, but not a whole lot. So now, because I'm doing the cut crease, I'm going to start right above where my actual crease line is because, like I've told you guys before, I do have hooded eyes. So I'm going to go right above where the crease line is, and we're just going to start placing the Ketchup shade. I actually don't want to use that brush. I want to use the Morphe M507 to do this. And again, I'm just going in with the shade Ketchup. First thoughts, these colors are super pigmented already. This is a really, really pretty red shade. And I think the payoff is really nice. It's going to look a little bit darker up top because I didn't realize that this brush had black pigment on it before I went in. So it's just got a little bit of black up there, but I'm going to try to get it out as much as I can. But like I said, we're just going to come in and we're going to set the crease line that we want to make. And I think that this color is really helping us create a nice line. Now I want to go in with Sweet Potato Fries, and I'm going to be using the same brush to go in with that. So we're still using the Morphe M507. Again, just a little bit of kickback in the pan, nothing big. And we're going to go right above Ketchup, and we're going to blend that over top. Again, this one is really pretty, really pigmented as well. Having absolutely no problem with blending it out. Now, if your colors kind of start to blend together, that's okay, because we're going to go back and we're going to deepen up the red just to give it a little bit more pigment, just in case it does blend in too much with the orange. As of right this second, that's not something that we have to worry about though. And the Sweet Potato Fries blended out very pretty, blended in with Ketchup really nicely as well. And I didn't have any problem working with it. So now I'm again just going to go in with the Morphe M507, and we're going to go in with the shade Mustard and put it right above Sweet Potato Fries. And you can still see the difference between them. Like, they're not blending too much together to where you're losing color or pigment. And they're staying the nice vibrancy of the original color. Alright, so we finished doing the upper portion of the eye. So now we're going to go in with the same brush that we used to cut the crease. And I'm going to go into the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in shade Fair 00, and we're just going to use that to cut the crease. Blue cheese, and first I'm going to swatch it on my finger. Oh, that's really pretty. Right there. Usually I use my finger when I go in with a shimmer shade, but I think this one might be a little bit best to go in with a brush to do so, but I do want to kind of test it out with my finger really quick. Oh, that's so pretty. So now the next fun part is eyeliner. So before, I never did winged liners or anything like that. The only thing that I would ever do would be to take a pencil like this, a little kohl pencil. The one specific one that I would use was the LA Colors, and I would do my upper and lower waterline. So we're gonna go ahead and do that again. The reason I stopped doing that is because it makes your eyes look so much smaller, and I just didn't like the way that it looked. thing was, I was so messy about it. I didn't really care how it looked, which was such a bad thing. And I would just let it kind of be like that. Luckily, I don't do that anymore. So now I wing my liner most of the time. Sometimes I don't do liner, but most of the time I do wing it out. So to do that, I'm going in with the Hank & Henry Slick With It in Blicky Black. This has become one of my favorite liquid liners, actually, for a really long time. I was kind of stuck on one specific liquid liner, which was the Kat Von D tattoo liner. And then I got this one in my BoxyCharm, and I really, really do like it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and go in with this one and wing out the liner over here. So to get started with the base, I used to not put primer on at all. Even now, I don't put primer on every single time that I do my makeup, but I do use pore filling primers when I do, also hydrating ones. So for my primer today, I am going to go in with the Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer. I just got a sample of it, but I really do love this. And I'm just going to put it on this side of my face because I didn't wear it on my, I didn't used to wear it at all. So I just mainly put it on my cheek, and then I just put a little bit on my nose and then on my chin. And I'm just going to kind of do like a pressing and pulling motion with it. And I honestly think that this primer smells so good. I don't know what it is, and I can't remember like what it is that it smells like, but you know how sometimes you'll be putting something on or using something and it just like, it's such a distinct smell and you don't know why? That's how I feel with this. So for my foundation, what I used to use, which I'll use it on occasion now, but it is very, very rare that I will use it, is the Maybelline Matte and Poreless for normal to oily skin in shade 112 Natural Ivory. So the reason that I no longer use this foundation is I have dry skin. I do not have oily skin. And I was so persistent for the longest time that I did have oily skin. Don't get me wrong, like this is a really nice foundation. It's just not the foundation for me anymore. I may try like the dewy one, but this one just isn't for me. Now, I go in with a foundation brush still. I do use a beauty sponge as well, but I used to only go in with a sponge. So I'm going to take it, and the one thing I don't like about this is it doesn't have a pump, so like I always put too much because I'm only doing half of my face. I only use a little bit. I also did not do full coverage. My foundation was like medium coverage at best. I used to have really, really, really bad breakouts, and I would not cover them really well. Now I cover mine a lot better, so we're just gonna go ahead and use the foundation on this side of the face. Now I would also take the foundation and put it right over my eyebrow. And I always had foundation in my brows and it always looked really bad. And I did not care because again, I thought that I was really good at makeup then. So, foundation over the brows, here we go. So I'm gonna go in with a different foundation brush now because I do still use one for my foundation. And I'm just gonna go in with one like this. And then for this side of my face, I'm going to be going in with a stick foundation. I don't always use stick foundations. I actually vary in between what I use and what I don't use. So today I just decided I wanted to go with a stick foundation. This is going to have more of a dewy finish than a matte finish. And this is going to be Makeup Revolution in shade F1. So this is what it looks like. And it's in a really pretty like pink and rose gold component. And I'm just going to swipe it on my face. I also try to go for foundations that are going to be a little bit lighter. sometimes about just a shade lighter than what my skin tone is, because I can always darken it, versus I used to always go for dark foundations, which was really bad because of course then they are a lot darker than what I am. And then we're just gonna blend this down the neck. Alright, so now that that is covered, stick foundations blend out better with a brush versus with a sponge. I'm still going to go in with a sponge to kind of smooth everything out, but I am going to start with the brush just to blend it. We're going to move on to concealer. Now, I did not do concealer before at all, so we're not putting any on that side, but I do use concealer now. So again, I am going back in with my e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer and just putting a very little bit underneath the eye. Now that I have the concealer on, we're gonna move on to powder. Now, I used to use the tiniest bit of powder doing this side of my face, but it was literally only under my eye and it always looked so weird. And again, for that, I did use the LA Colors. For today, I am going in with my WetnWild Photofocus translucent powder, and I'm going to do the under eye on this side, and then I'm setting the entire face on this side. So I'm just going to tap some of it into the cap. And then I'm just going to go in with the same sponge with my Juno & Co. Get just a little bit of it on there, and then now that my face is set, we are going to go ahead and move on to bronzer. And for that, I am going to be using my Hoola bronzer. And this is just the mini. I haven't moved into my larger one yet because I'm still working on finishing this one. But we're just going to swirl the brush around in it. And then I do go on the top of my forehead as well as my cheekbones and jawline. So we're just going to kind of leave that right there right now. And then I am going to go ahead and go in and chisel out my nose, which I, again, did not do before. So I'm going to go in with a brush like this. This is from Real Techniques. It's an angled crease brush, I believe. And we're just going to go in and carve out the nose really quickly. Now we're going to go ahead and go into blush. Again, I didn't use any before. So I am going to go ahead and do some now. For my blush today, I'm going in with the Makeup Revolution Blusher Reloaded in Peach Bliss. This I got for my first impressions video and I really did like it. I'm just going to go in with a brush like this one. And we're going to go ahead and blush up this side of my face. I used to hate blush in the way that it was and everything else. Now I like it because it does help restore some color in my face versus keep it all muted. And because of my face type, I put it on the apples of my cheeks and then blend it upwards to my cheekbones. And spray my face. I didn't set my face before, so I'm just going to take my fan and block off half of my face and spray this side. I want to keep my cheekbone a little bit wet so that way when I go in and put in my highlight, it does pop a little bit more. So for my highlight today, I'm going to be using the JayJay Cosmetics in Peachy Kween 2.0, and this is what it looks like. I think that this shade is so pretty, and I got this in the mail just a couple of days ago. I love the way that it looks, and it's so blinding. Alright guys, so now we're going to work on finishing up the eyes. Now, I never did my lower lash line. It was literally just the eyeliner. Usually it had smudged out to where it looked like all of the black eyeshadow, or all of the black eyeliner was like black eyeshadow at the bottom. But I am going to go ahead and do my lower lash line on this side. For that, I think I'm just going to go back into Ketchup and Sweet Potatoes. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my mascara. I didn't do lashes on the before side, but I do lashes now. The mascara that I used to use all the time was the Maybelline The Colossal Volume Express Mascara. Looked just like this. I didn't curl my lashes either. I just kind of let them be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do my lash, my upper and lower lash mascara. Now I'm going to go ahead and curl my upper lashes with just a little lash curler. And then we're gonna go in with mascara. When I use a lash curler, I like to put it on and pump it like 10 to 15 times just to kind of get my lashes nice and curled. And then one mascara that I've really been favoring lately is gonna be the Tarte Big Ego. So we're gonna go in with this one on the upper and lower lashes. So now we're gonna move on to lips. Now, this isn't at all the product that I used to use, obviously, because it just came out not long ago. But I figured I would also go ahead and give this product a try. So this is from Glamlite as well. This is their Pizza Lips in the shade Pepperoni, and it's this really pretty red shade. I was notoriously using red lips all the time. It was literally pretty much the only shade that I ever used to wear. I never used nude or anything else. No matter what, I was always doing a red lip. I love red lips now, don't get me wrong. They are literally my favorite. So, I mean, it makes sense that it's all I used to use. But I'm gonna go ahead and do a red lip for this side. I didn't use lip liner or anything like that, so we're just going straight in. Right off the bat, this is such a pretty shade. Oh my gosh. Wow. I think that lipstick is so pretty. Whew. That's a beautiful red, and I literally cannot wait to use it other than for this look. I'm gonna go in with a nude lip. So for that, I am going in with the Kylie Cosmetics Liquid Lip in the shade Low Key. So it looks just like this. So I am going to be putting a gloss on top of it. So for that, I'm going to be using a ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Puff. And this is what it looks like. And we're just going to put it right over top of the Kylie lipstick. Now, the very last thing that I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be putting on, technically, lash, because I didn't used to wear lashes. So for that, I'm going to be going in with Nature Lashes, and I don't want to butcher the name for this, but this is what the lashes are. I think these are so pretty. I actually wore them for the first time yesterday and loved how they turned out. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the lash on really quick, and I'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. This is the final look. I think that it turned out really nicely. I really loved the way that the Burger palette performed. The Naked 2 Basics palette will still be one of my favorites for a very long time. I really like the shadows in it. I think they do perform pretty well. It's just not something that I grab for often now because I don't really do the more nude looks anymore, or the natural kind of ones. I do go more for the bold and colorful ones. I think that this look turned out so nicely, and it kind of shows you guys how I have stepped up since the way that I used to do my makeup compared to the way that I do it now. If you guys want to see other videos like this, or you have other videos that you'd like to see me do, please leave them down in the comment section below. I really do enjoy making content for you guys and making these style videos, as well as doing review videos. I did just get some Glamlite stuff in, so I can do a video on that if you guys would like to see it. I also have something coming in from another brand in a couple of days that I'm super excited to talk to you guys about. Other than that, guys, I really appreciate all of your constant love and support. I love that you guys enjoy my content and that you want me to continue making content. Don't forget to follow me on my social media on Twitter and Instagram. I will leave my handles down in the description bar below. I am running a giveaway on my Twitter currently, which it is getting super exciting, and there's still a really long way to go on it. I can't wait to be able to show you guys who's the winner and all the different prizes that I have available. I do plan on having a multitude of winners with it as well, versus just one person. If you guys have other videos that you would like to see from me, please comment those as well. I would really love to have your guys' input and know what you'd like to see me come up with for you. Other than that, guys, have a great day. I really hope you enjoy your Tuesday, and I will see you on Thursday for my next video.